This is Optimal Health Daily, episode 1665. Why Motivation Doesn't Matter. 5 Steps to Firing Up Your Exercise Mojo by Rachel Trotta of racheltrotta.com. And I'm Dr. Neil Malik, reading you some of the most popular health and fitness blogs out there, with permission from the websites, of course, and always with a bit of my commentary at the end. Now, today is St. Patrick's Day, which is actually a big deal here in the US. But more importantly, it's actually my sister's birthday as well. So I wanted to wish my sister a very happy birthday. All right, and with that, let's get right to today's post as we optimize your life. Why Motivation Doesn't Matter. 5 Steps to Firing Up Your Exercise Mojo by Rachel Trotta of racheltrotta.com. When you've lost your exercise mojo, don't depend on motivation to get it back. I want to share a short story about a client whom I'll call Melissa. Like many of my clients and I do at times, Melissa recently went through a period of struggle with exercise motivation. In general, she felt blah and couldn't get herself out the door to exercise, or to eat healthfully either. After a few weeks of this, Melissa confided in me what she was going through, and I was able to connect with her on this very important tenet of my coaching programs. Motivation doesn't matter all that much. Sure, motivation feels great, but when something has become a long-term habit and routine, you're not going to feel excited to do it every single time. It's that simple. It would be like expecting to feel butterflies every time you make eye contact with your spouse of 20 years. Just like hoping romantic feelings will magically rekindle themselves tends to backfire, waiting to feel motivated to start exercising again is a recipe for never getting started. You may waste a long time and experience serious backward steps in your health and fitness in the meantime. Plus, motivation tends to be a product rather than a fuel. In other words, motivation happens because of our actions, not the other way around. But wait, don't stop listening now. I don't want you to click away thinking that I'm talking about buckling down or muscling through a boring routine using force of will. Instead, let's look at 5 steps for rekindling your exercise routine and some excitement without waiting for motivation to strike. Step 1. Express self-compassion and self-understanding. It's super annoying to get on a fitness kick and then fall off the wagon, but it does tend to happen to everyone now and then. Even personal trainers put on weight or otherwise get out of shape every once in a while. It happens. So don't beat yourself up. Instead, recognize that this is a behavior that you want to change, not an inherent flaw in your character. It's far less overwhelming to tackle a behavior change than to assume that you have to change something about yourself or your personality. Step 2. Be an investigator. Has anything else about your lifestyle changed? This is incredibly important. When you get down on yourself about your willpower or motivation, you may be missing that something external has changed your life, like your work schedule, the season of the year or the weather, your sleeping patterns, your workout buddy or exercise class, a medication dosage, or your overall health unrelated to fitness. You may find that it's not an issue of motivation. You're simply unable to make it to your regular exercise class because of a change in schedule. Or maybe the short winter days aren't conducive to your favorite activity of outdoor running. It's easy to lose perspective and not notice when these things happen and blame ourselves. You may have been chalking it up to willpower, but the means and opportunity may be more important than motive in this case. Step 3. Ask yourself, how can I adapt my routine? At this point, you may have to acknowledge to yourself that you have fallen off the fitness wagon, and that it may take a little work to get back into a regular routine until it feels normal again. Analyze the obstacles that you found in Step 2 and make a game plan for how to work around your new life circumstances. If your work schedule has changed, perhaps join a new gym or start going to a different exercise class. If the short days are affecting you, try running after work instead of in the morning. Or if your sleep has gotten way off, take a look at nighttime routines to see where you could patch up your circadian rhythms for optimal health. But if these simple fixes don't seem to be the ticket, then maybe consider Step 4. Step 4. Switch it up. Sometimes all you need for a little motivation pick-me-up is some variety. If you've been slogging through bar classes for months and are feeling bored and unmotivated, then maybe you should do something different, like reinvigorate your focus on strength training or join a new gym with a wider variety of classes. Special note, if you work with a personal trainer, be honest with them that you need something new to focus on. Most trainers have a wide range of skills and can be very flexible in varying up your workouts. And step 5, get real about results that matter to you. Have you heard the saying, what gets measured gets managed? This refers to the fact that we tend to perform better when we track results. Think of yourself not just as a recreational exerciser, but as an athlete. Pick a goal for yourself, something that matters to you, and make a plan to accomplish it. Track your metrics and outperform yourself. For example, I find that my running clients do best when they wear trackers and watch their distance and pace. They're more motivated to run partly because they're motivated to improve their pace or mileage. Here are some ideas for tackling a real-world measurable goal. Sign up for a race, triathlon, cycling event, powerlifting meet, or other public competition. Set a strength goal for yourself, like a certain number of pull-ups. Or set a realistic goal for body composition that you'd like to accomplish in 3 to 6 months. What do I mean by real world? In this case, something that you could put on Instagram. Not saying you should or have to, but the idea is that this is something that you could communicate to others and have a verifiable outcome. Because let's be honest, results and public events are incredibly motivating. So what about my client, Melissa? I'm happy to say that Melissa did get her mojo back. Within a week of sitting down with me to discuss obstacles, goals, and mindset, because not all of my client sessions are actually workouts, she found it easier to get to the gym and stay on track. You don't have to wait for motivation to magically strike. You can rekindle it yourself with a little focus, creativity, and self-compassion. Most of all, as I said first, don't beat yourself up. No one feels excited about exercising all the time, and I find that the winter months are particularly hard on most of us up here in the cold. But you can help yourself, achieve more, and feel better about yourself in the process. You just listened to the post titled, Why Motivation Doesn't Matter, 5 Steps to Firing Up Your Exercise Mojo by Rachel Trotta of nutritionalist.com. Has your mind been sprinting for years on end, leaving trails of stress, anxiety, and fatigue that are eroding your mental health? If you're nodding along yes, then it's time to adopt small daily practices that will have a huge impact on your long-term happiness and well-being. And it's easy to learn with Headspace. Headspace is scientifically proven to help you manage your feelings and your mental health. In fact, a recent study showed in just 2 weeks, Headspace can reduce your stress by 14%. Whether you want to relieve stress and anxiety, sleep better, or improve your focus, Headspace is your everyday dose of mindfulness for real life. Whenever I'm not feeling my best, I love using Headspace's appreciation course. I instantly feel happier about what matters in my life and perfect to help fall asleep faster. However you're feeling, try Headspace at headspace.com/OHD and get 1 month free of their entire mindfulness library. This is the best Headspace offer available, so go to headspace.com/OHD today. headspace.com/OHD. Dr. Neal here for my commentary. I really appreciated all of the great advice Rachel provided. When Rachel said that it's important to find a goal that's meaningful to you, it reminded me of something I use all the time. One of the best ways to rekindle motivation for basically anything is to ask yourself, why am I doing this? Remind yourself of your why. Write those reasons down. The more connected you are to your why, the more likely you'll be able to stick to your behavior. I'll give you an example. Say the reason someone chose to exercise and eat 5 to 9 combined servings of fruits and vegetables each day is because they want to look good at the beach this summer. Now, that why is perfectly acceptable. As Rachel said, those sorts of milestone goals are great. But if we want to increase our motivation over the even longer term, let's compare that goal to, I want to exercise and eat 5 to 9 combined servings of fruits and vegetables because I want to see my grandkids grow up. Now think back to the first one. What happens when that goal of looking good at the beach is accomplished? Or Summer has come and gone. Should we just quit, pat ourselves on the back, and say, well, mission accomplished? Hopefully not. We want these wonderful habits to go on for as long as possible. We want this to be a lifestyle. So if we can find that deeper connection to our why, one that goes beyond a sort of shorter term goal, it may serve us even better. All right, that'll do it for me for today. I'll be back here tomorrow for our usual Friday Q&A, so stay tuned for that, where your optimal life awaits.